What's happening, my buginators? Good morning, if it is morning where you are. And thank you so much for tuning into my video today. It really means the world. So, from the title of this video, you may be thinking, what the is going on here? So let me just give a bit of a rundown about what this video is gonna be. There's this YouTube channel I really like called Nerdforge. They did one video where Martina went out to a cabin in the woods, totally isolated, for 5 days with a different painting challenge each day in order to try to boost her creativity there, because she felt like she was busy with other stuff and her painting had kind of fallen by the wayside. And ever since I've watched that video, I've felt really inspired to try to apply that in whatever way I could to my own music writing. Because even though I'm writing with my band right now, I do feel like I've been pretty stagnant. I don't have a cabin in the woods, so I'm going to apply this to my apartment. But basically, from now until Sunday at noon, I'm going to completely disconnect. I've put my phone on airplane mode. I'm not going to go on the internet at all. I'm going to come up with some composition challenges for myself. Do one a day for today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm also not going to leave my apartment at all because I don't want to bump into a neighbor or something and accidentally talk to someone. I want to be totally isolated, no communication whatsoever. Now you may be thinking, well, this is just like what everyone's doing right now because we're in the middle of a pandemic, so nobody's even going anywhere. And yeah, I don't leave my apartment very often, but I use the internet a lot. And I text with my husband Dean, because my husband, he is gone right now, so I'm totally alone in this apartment. This is an experiment. I'm really hoping that it helps ignite some creativity. We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna start coming up with some composition challenges. I want to come up with more than 4 so that I'm not aware of which ones I'm going to have to do. Okay. Oh geez. Okay, so we got writing an arrangement to an organ piece by Bach. So that's today's challenge. We're starting off with a really hard one, I guess. The Prelude and Fugue in A minor, BWV 543. The cadenza at the end is so fucking cool. And that's the thing that we tabbed out in one of the classical tab packages over on deanlam.com. I don't want it to be just like a dead-on transcription. I want it to be a metal riff that is inspired from this. I think I'm just gonna take this to Guitar Pro and start tabbing stuff out and see what I get from there. So it's been a bit. Basically all I've done so far is tab out a page and a bit of the prelude. Based on how this is going, I'm thinking I'm only gonna do an arrangement of the prelude or even just part of the prelude. Basically I got to this part where there's these chords going back and forth very quickly, and it kind of made me think that from that point we could break off into a tremolo-y kind of black metal section with dissonant chords. So I'm gonna have you listen to the tab right now, and then I'm gonna explain my thoughts on some of this stuff. So, my thoughts. This pedal tone thing, I'm not obsessed with it. It's also very jarring when it suddenly goes into the faster triplet figures, but I do think the triplet figures sound cool. And then when it goes back into that, I'm just kind of like, eh. And it also just seems very sudden. After it's doing that pedal tone section again, it goes into this whole thing is amazing. And I really want to fuck with that first. And then when it goes into this really fast, shreddy kind of section, and then the chords, it's just so random when that suddenly comes in. So I need to, I think, just take that section rather than trying to do a big arrangement of as much of it as I can that I maybe wouldn't be very stoked on. I would rather make a much smaller arrangement of part that I would be really stoked on. So at this point, now that I at least have it tabbed out, I want to start playing it on guitar. Okay, so like, I would want to turn that into a riff, but then what does it do after that? I'm just gonna start working on a separate tab as I go, thinking that I'll probably put down double picking, but I might be thinking about tremoloing this. The actual JS Bach thing is... So I want that one, and then I think those two together is really cool. So I added that variation. And then this other Bach one is, which I don't like. What does he do after that? I like that one. That's pretty cool. I like that. Cool. I like that. Ooh, it's so sad. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. Ooh. Oh yeah, okay, so once it starts going into this, I think I want to incorporate that into the next riff. Would it go directly into that sweeping thing from there? Maybe. So good. I love that. Okay. Let's see how it sounds. Oh, it's really cool sounding. Fuck. And then it goes into the crazy shred thing after it. I want to just see if I can get like Maybe some cool octaves or something to go with this part. Let's lives and listen to that. That wasn't the rhythm I originally heard, but I like that actually. I don't know if that will go there. So for a D minor major 7, so now it's a D minor 9 with a major 7. I don't know about that. We'll see how it sounds. I think actually it'll be cooler if we suspend the F, and then the F is part of the D minor chord, and it makes sense. So now it's going up much higher, so I think it'll be cooler to descend the bass. Goes up to F sharp there. Might be a little jarring, but let's check it out. So we go to F sharp there after the F natural. Oh! I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh no, we have a C sharp there. So it's actually an F sharp minor chord. Turns it into a D major 7, which is pretty. Oh, but it's too tonic. Too tonic. I don't like that. Okay, I think my brain may be starting to fart out because I'm not as stoked on the second half of the bass line as the first half. Also, maybe I just need to start recording this so that I can actually hear it with real guitars. That will take me a long ass time and I don't want to waste storage on my SD card filming that. I'm gonna go make some lunch and then start recording this, and I'll see you back in a bit. Hello. Wow, I have a lot to fill you in on. So much has happened in the 7 hours since I was last on camera. Maybe even longer than that, I don't know. So, when I turned off the camera, I went and tried to record it. Bear in mind the sweep arpeggios were so difficult that I had to record them at half speed, so they sound really funny. Let's listen to this and then I'll explain some more stuff. I just sound totally blown out in the speaker, I have no idea. Sorry if it is. Those arpeggios are clearly recorded at half speed. When I left the Reaper station, I was not super stoked on that, but basically I went and sat down and just tried to work on the tab. So I really liked that octave bass line I came up with. I just didn't necessarily like it with that arpeggio pattern. So instead, I came up with this whole other thing. I was trying to keep in mind the whole massive section of this Bach piece that I ignored, and really a main motif of this is this pedal tone thing, where you're basically going from a low note to a high note, and then you're kind of sequencing either through a scale. He is doing it super chromatically all over the place. So I tried to keep that in mind and then come up with something that I liked, and I'm actually really stoked on it. I feel like it sounds like Gojira or something. And then I ended up taking the arpeggios of his. I took only the ones I liked because there was a bunch that I didn't feel too hot about, so I just took ones that I liked and put them in a different order, and then came up with this tremolo black metal. It's mainly just different thirds. And then out of nowhere I just came up with this awesome surreption-y slam riff, and I'm really stoked on that. It's not super Bach-esque, but that's okay. And then I go back to the very first riff, and then I came up with this tapping thing on top of it. And then this massive thing here is also an homage to this piece, because another part that we were looking at earlier was this insane shreddy section. So I did my own version of that in D harmonic minor, and then came up with this kind of like syncopated rhythm underneath it. I think I like it. I am gonna play the tab for us to listen to together. Yeah, I think I like that, but I don't know if I'm just cheesy. Is it cheesy? My thoughts on today, I'm really pleasantly surprised with how this went. There were parts in the day when I was like, fuck, this is so difficult. I'm not gonna come up with anything. This sucks. And then it turned out really good. I think day one is over. It is 9:58 p.m. I really hope tomorrow I get an easier challenge because I spent all damn day on this. I started working at what, 8:30 in the morning, 9 in the morning after I chatted on the video. So 13-hour, this is what I can get in 13 hours, I guess. Is that good? 13 hours. Whoa, that's fucked up when you say it like that. Okay, anyways, I guess we'll see you tomorrow for day 2.